The NFL announced Usher will be headlining the Super Bowl 58 halftime show.
Usher is going to be performing in the Super Bowl halftime show.
It's that time of the year again. The leaves are turning brown, Starbucks are rolling out their pumpkin spice products, and Halloween is just around the corner. Except, all of these I've seen are still green. I don't really care for pumpkin spice products, and although Halloween is usually one of my favourite times of the year, it just doesn't seem to be giving like it usually does. However, the 2024 Super Bowl halftime performer was announced a couple of weeks ago, and I thought, finally, something to be excited for. In a few months we're going to experience a legend take centre stage in front of tens of millions of viewers. But that excitement soon came to a screeching halt when I saw the response online. And instead of being excited, the internet does what the internet does best. And that was lose their mind over the announcement that Usher was going to be the Super Bowl halftime performer. And you would have sworn from the reactions from the announcement that they announced someone like Daniel Bedingfield to perform or something. And no shade to that man because he's got a couple of hits, but like, let's be serious. Because when you realise who they're critiquing, yeah, it becomes a problem. Absolutely. The halftime show has become a big deal ever since Michael Jackson's 1993 performance, which saw him perform an array of hits from his career. The buzz he was able to generate from his anticipated performance meant more people than usual turned into the Super Bowl that year to watch him perform. And ever since then, a halftime performance has become a regular occurrence thanks to Jackson's contributions. Which means now, every year in the run-up to the Super Bowl in February, it's always speculated about which artists are going to take the centre stage. And this year was no different, with multiple artists being speculated for the past few months. We saw artists like Taylor Swift, Harry Styles, Lizzo and Miley Cyrus be tipped for the coveted position. And based on the impressive years that they've had recently, it wouldn't be surprising for any one of them to take centre stage. However, since Jay-Z started working with the NFL in recent years, he's made a conscious effort to ensure that the Super Bowl halftime performer has a diverse array of talent. In 2020, Shakira headlined alongside Jennifer Lopez in Miami. And in 2022, Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre headlined alongside Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar, Eminem and 50 Cent, becoming the first solely hip-hop based performance. Having announced a Las Vegas residency earlier in the year, it sort of made sense that Usher was named as the halftime performer. However, the announcement was met with mixed reviews. Many fans absolutely loved the idea of Usher headlining, which led to people reminiscing about his hits and sharing their favourite performances up and down my Twitter timeline, while other fans didn't even believe he had enough pop hits to headline such a mainstream show. And then you had others who didn't even know who he was and started questioning if they could even name 5 Usher songs. And here's my thing. If you can't name 5 Usher songs, you're either too uncultured, too young, and you need to stay out of this conversation because this conversation is really not for you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, it's really not. And honestly, it made me realise that just because you can comment on a situation doesn't mean you need to. Because people need to realise that not everything is for everybody, and that's okay. That's okay, but it doesn't mean you need to comment on it if it isn't for you. Back to Usher. When the announcement was made and people started losing their goddamn minds about his performance, saying he doesn't have enough hits, he's irrelevant, blah blah blah, I thought, in the words of Miss Maya Wilkes, oh hell no.
Oh hell no! Oh hell no! Oh hell no!
See, what we're not about to do is get onto Beyonce's internet and start questioning if Usher, of all people, is worthy of being able to perform at the Super Bowl. Usher? I know we're not talking about the 8-time Grammy Award winning artist Usher. I know we're not talking about the 9 #1 single having artist Usher. I know we're not talking about Diamond album having artist Usher. Yes, Diamond as in 10 million copies, pure sales, before streaming, based off pure talent and hits alone. And yet people were still questioning if he has enough material to perform. You must have lost your damn minds. You must have lost your damn minds. What? What do you mean? Because I thought there's no way that people could really question his abilities, or if he could perform or not, if he's a worthy performer. And then I realised critical thinking is a lost art. People just lust after any sort of engagement they can get online. So I shouldn't be surprised when people hunched over their dusty phones, unrolled their decrepit little fingers, and started typing absolute nonsense on the internet for everybody to see. Absolute nonsense. Are we surprised? No. But is it still annoying? Absolutely. Absolutely. It is. It's still annoying. Because my thing with the situation is, if Usher was before your time and you love good music, you really have the opportunity to go and explore an entire back catalogue of excellent music. Like, you should really be taking this as an advantage to learn about a new artist for you who's been in the game for 30 years. You can really go back, explore any of his albums, see the material he's put out, and recognize it. Oh, okay, maybe this is a performance that would be worthy. This is a performer who can really put on a good show, who has a great catalogue of material to perform. Instead, no, they're just mad that their little faves aren't performing. I highly recommend go and listen to his back catalogue. Go and watch his performances. Join those of us who have taste and get excited for a Super Bowl performance that could easily be top 5 of all time. Easily. And if you don't listen to R&B, let's keep those paper-cut lips in check and stop speaking on things you have no knowledge about. Because questioning whether he's a worthy performer or if he has a catalogue of music worthy to perform there, while simultaneously not knowing any of his music, is a much poorer reflection of you than anything else. Because how can you question a legend while simultaneously not knowing anything about the man? You look dumb. You look dumb. With that being said, I wanted to take a quick look and see if Usher actually does have the credentials to perform at the Super Bowl. So what makes a good halftime performer? I've split it up into 3 categories: catalogue, visuals, and showmanship. An artist needs a catalogue of music that people know the words to. You could excel in the other 2 categories, but if nobody knows your songs, nobody knows the words to the songs, nobody's singing along or getting excited about it, then what's the point of you performing? Then we have visuals. The halftime performance isn't your typical stage performance. You need to be able to give us a set design that's visually appealing, which gives us something interesting to look at, whether over the top like Katy Perry's performance or a more toned down performance like Rihanna's. Either way, we need to be visually stimulated. Additionally, the performer will need to be well dressed. Something that stands out in a crowd. Similar to their typical style, but something you can look at and immediately identify as the outfit that was worn during the performance. And finally, we have showmanship. We need the performer to be able to command an audience. A lot of the time, a boring audience can affect a performance. So Usher being able to truly captivate his audience will help elevate the performance to another level. As well as that, they need to be able to dance. This keeps us entertained throughout, and just gives another added element to the overall performance. So let's explore these 3 areas and see if Usher has what it takes to perform at the Super Bowl. So firstly, we need to look at the catalogue. Usher released his debut album in 1994, which means by the time he does perform, he would have been in the industry for 30 years. In his 3 decades in the entertainment industry, Usher has accumulated 9 solo albums, 4 of which went to number 1, with 8 top 10 projects in total. He has 53 Billboard Hot 100 entries, of which 9 went to number 1. Those 9 number 1 songs all sat at the top of the charts for multiple weeks, and he was credited as the lead artist for them as they all came from one of his albums. 4 of his number 1 singles came from his album Confessions, a staple in both R&B and pop culture, as was able to produce 5 top 10 hits. At the time of recording this video, he has over 33 million monthly Spotify listeners. His latest single, Good Good, which features Summer Walker and 21 Savage, is in the top 30 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart and is growing in popularity, so will only likely rise in the upcoming weeks. So with a catalogue that spans so long, with that many hits, and still able to draw in as much attention as he's currently getting without even having performed at the halftime show yet, this highlights alone how much that man is somebody who deserves a spot on that stage. And while sonically Usher has been predominantly rooted in R&B, he's dabbled in a variety of genres during this time. This allowed him to remain relevant and reinvent himself, being introduced to different generations who have been able to appreciate his music, even if they were previously unaware of him or his music. The show itself is 14 minutes long, with artists typically performing between 8 and 12 songs on average, which means he has more than enough hits to perform at the show that we'll know the words to and enjoy. With a diverse catalogue, it means he can divide the performance up in multiple different ways. He can either perform his music in chronological order and take us on a musical journey based on time, starting out with some club bangers, then winding down with some slower songs before finishing off with his up-tempo hits. Along with an extensive career in the industry, Usher has managed to collaborate with a wide range of artists from different genres and generations. His career has seen him perform with the greats as well as newer artists on the come-up. This gives him a great cosign while simultaneously having him adapt to a new sound of current artists. This is great as the halftime shows become known for some of the great guests being featured, such as Missy Elliott doing a guest appearance during Katy Perry's halftime show, and the surprise performance from Beyoncé and Bruno Mars during Coldplay's performance. Usher is one of those artists I do believe who will bring out somebody to perform alongside with him, and he could choose from such a diverse range of artists. However, my top pick, and what makes the most sense for me, would be Alicia Keys. She too is another artist who has had a similar career trajectory to Usher. She hasn't performed at the Super Bowl, and although I would love to see her perform there, her catalogue is more full of music that moves you, the music that makes you move. And since they've already collaborated together on the iconic hit My Boo, he could definitely bring her out to perform that song. Bringing Alicia out will bring a big shine to R&B, which is currently seeing a slight resurgence in the mainstream, while honouring his peer who has also had a long and successful career. A live performance of My Boo would be so gag-worthy. Plus, she could then perform songs like No One, Empire State of Mind, and Girl on Fire, while Usher does something like a costume change or goes to a different part of the set. I believe these songs would get great reactions from the audience, both at the stadium and at home. Next, we have visuals. When we're looking at visuals, I don't mean music videos alone, because let's be honest, Usher's probably not in line for the Video Vanguard Award from the VMAs anytime soon. But we're looking at visuals on the broader scheme of things, including things such as set designs, backgrounds, props, things he can do visually to enhance his performance and give us a better show overall. His actual music videos are nothing to scoff at though. It's evident that he puts a lot of care into his music videos with a lot of attention to detail. He comes from an era that placed high value and importance on music videos because they've become a major selling point for fans for as long as MTV has existed. This is something he's carried with him over the years, and while he doesn't have many eccentric videos that could be compared to something like Thriller by Michael Jackson, he often uses his videos to reflect the message of the songs, whether it be showcasing love, heartbreak or partying. He wants to ensure that his videos are always interesting. As for his live performances, which will give us a better understanding of what he can bring visually to the show, while looking at his recent shows, he plays a lot with lighting. Having the lighting set the tone for the mood he wants to set, for the atmosphere he wants to create, he often uses lighting to assist him with telling stories through music. At his Las Vegas residency, he has a large metal structure in the middle of the stage that he utilises throughout his performance. It is intertwined into the show, with himself and his dancers regularly dancing on or alongside the structure. Using these examples, it's likely that he's going to incorporate these elements into his own halftime performance, having a grand scale set design featuring intricate details to help be visually intriguing to viewers, while also allowing him to use the visuals to tell the stories of his music. Lastly, we've got showmanship. Does Usher have the charm and personality to make a show interesting? Does he have the ability to entertain a crowd? It's no secret that Usher is one of the last real performances we have from both male and female artists. He can sing, but he can also dance. Dance is one of those elements he has always implemented into his performances from as far back as I can remember. It has helped him to stand out amongst his peers and definitely has kept him relevant till this day. People regularly have discussions about his dancing abilities and many place him up there with the greats. The one area I haven't seen him being questioned is his dancing abilities. You could put that man on a stage that's falling apart outside IKEA and he would still put on a great show. And that just highlights how good of a performer that man actually is. Usher is known for his charisma. He's seen as a ladies' man and knows how to play into that. He's taken this international sex symbol persona and run with it, using it to his advantage as it has helped him further his career by giving the fans what they want. The girls especially love seeing him shirtless, and watching him give lap dances to audience members has become part of his whole shtick. Now obviously I don't believe he's going to do this during the Super Bowl halftime performance, nor would I want him to do so, mostly because it's a different audience and he only has 14 minutes, so he can't really be bringing people out of the audience to give them a lap dance. It's just not realistic. But I mention all of this to say he has constantly demonstrated great showmanship throughout his career. He has the ability to really captivate an audience and keep them entertained, being one of the last entertainers who came up alongside artists such as Beyonce and Justin Timberlake, and can definitely keep up in terms of his hits and performance abilities. That being said, it's definitely evident that this man has the ability to command an audience. He's known for his strong performance abilities, and this is one of the things fans will be eagerly anticipating as he takes centre stage. I'm excited to see what Usher brings to the table during this performance. He has 30 years of experience behind him, and I feel like that will definitely be evident within this performance. He can play into his strengths and put on a great show, and even those who doubted him, I believe will double back on what they said and recognise in real time that Usher was born to do this type of show. And he's one of those artists who deserves to have his flowers while he's still alive. If we're keeping it a book, it's going to be harder for Usher to compile all of his hits into a 14-minute melody than it will be for him to find songs to fill the time with. There is so much potential with a performer like Usher, and it's clear from this situation that people need to stop being weird when it comes to worthy performers. Just because an artist has a few hit songs doesn't necessarily mean they're Super Bowl worthy. We want vocals, choreography, incredible sets, charisma. We want to see actual entertainers. And all of those aspects are things we will see in Usher's performance. Because, and this is no shade, somebody like Adele is a great artist, everybody knows all the music, yes, but the Super Bowl is notorious for its up-tempo vibes, which gets everybody up and moving. And Adele just doesn't have enough songs in her catalogue that fits that criteria, nor is she a dancer. She's a great artist, but not necessarily a great entertainer in that aspect. Like, I am so sick of people on Twitter labeling every pop girl iconic and legendary just for breathing, while disrespecting legends because they don't make music in the genre you listen to. It's exhausting and it needs to stop. It has to. Like I said earlier, I know that everything isn't for everybody. Like, let's say next year they announce somebody like Imagine Dragons as the halftime performer. Who am I to say that they're unworthy? They have multiple songs with over 1 billion streams, so it's clear that they're popular. And me, I know their name. I could even name a title of a song or two, but I don't know their music. I don't know them from anywhere. So I'm not really familiar with their stage presence and how they are as artists, how they are as entertainers, and how they are as performers. So I could get online and easily critique them and say, they're not worthy, I don't know them, we don't know who they are, we don't know any of the words to their songs. But then I could see a performance from them and recognise that, oh, actually, they could be halftime performer worthy, but I don't know that because I just don't listen to them. But that doesn't mean that I should be getting online and making judgments about people that I don't really know, about artists I don't really listen to, and artists I've never really seen perform. Instead, take it as a learning opportunity, go explore their back catalogue, watch their performances, see if I do enjoy them. I might be able to join their fans and anticipate them too. Who knows? The halftime show is never that deep for people to be losing their minds. It's just a performance. Let it go. You can go watch your faves' previous performances on YouTube, you can go to a concert, something. Your favourite artist does not need to be the halftime performer, and if they're not, don't critique those who are. Now maybe if it was somebody who's known for lip syncing or has 2 left feet, then yeah, that's probably a genuine critique, as we want to see great performance hit the stage. Anyway, that's all we have time for today. Do you think that Usher's a worthy halftime performer? Leave it in the comment section down below. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. I'll see you guys soon, and until next time, goodbye!